Hey, it's Josh with Earnest Roots.
Hey, it's Cory with Blue Mountain Homestead.
What do you typically do on a Saturday morning when it's 20 below outside?
Well, the average person, if they had any sense, they'd be sitting in the house where it's warm, eating some Cheerios.
And not us. What we're going to be doing?
We're going to be processing a couple big old hogs this morning.
And we're going to be having the pleasure to be in the company of a local retired processor. He's going to show us the ropes how to do this.
40 years of experience. I think he's third generation butcher.
So us youngins are going to learn how to do it, and we'll show y'all. So stay tuned for the some snips of the whole process. Now let me show you the pigs.
Oh yeah, we can hook it up down here.
Right now we're cutting the tendon, getting it ready to hang. What we did was we put some milk in a trough so the pig would stay still, and shot between the eyes, and then cut its throat and let it bleed out. So now we're about to hang it.
All right, she's ready to hang. You got a little chain?
Yeah, I got a little chain.
Okay.
I see the body of her.
Okay, what are you doing? You're just slicing its skin so you can.
We're getting in and going around the rectum and all that.
That's the butt.
And we're fixing to drop this down in there, which will come on out with the guts.
So that's him cutting out the rectum, so the poop chute.
And then we got to put it on down, get it laid out.
Skinning this.
Okay.
We're not scraping it, so he's prepping it. You can see he's kind of making the skirt here, so that way we can pull it.
If we were to scrape it, we'd have to boil it, right?
Yeah.
Scald it in the hot water, and then all that good stuff.
This is just quicker, right?
Well, people used to say the squeal, even they'd say, you know, because people didn't have food like we do now.
Right.
And they tried to save everything that was edible, or that they could use in some way or another.
Uh-huh.
And so they didn't put nothing away. They even used the guts for casings. They'd wash them out.
They make bratwurst.
Right.
Between the two.
This is skin on meat, and
Okay.
and you have to be careful because you'll lose. You can pull that membrane,
Uh-huh.
and it'll tear and release. Where this, some parts of this will, but you kind of have to get it laid out to a certain point
Uh-huh.
before you can pull it like that. And that's mostly going to be on the back part.
Okay.
After we get it worked around.
You
So it doesn't skin like a deer.
off you.
It
Is that
skins
membrane?
like a deer, but it don't know it. You ain't got that membrane. You just got
Doesn't
meat
pull like a deer.
on.
Doesn't pull, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't pull.
Daddy,
Yes, sir.
it wants to get up here with me. Actually, I want to get there.
So with chicken, we take them off feed within 24 hours. What do we do with feed for a pig?
Well, I think it's a lot the same, right? I mean, you suggest like a good 24 hours and pump water to them, and
The biggest thing that I can see about taking them off feed earlier is letting their intestines get cleaned out. So, but if you don't bust the intestine, you ain't got to worry about it.
yeah.
Because it won't get on the meat, but even if it does, you can wash it off right quick. But as far as the animal, most stuff always came to me with a belly full of feed.
Really? Okay.
Well, I couldn't, and I'd have to kill them that day, you know, so I couldn't let them sit for several days to get cleaned out or hours.
I guess that's one benefit of just killing here on farm, because it's, you know, I fed them yesterday, but they weren't, you know, stressed out and everything like that. I mean, they're not really looking for that feed because they're in panic mode. You know, they're just doing their thing. And I mean, heck, this morning I let them out here, and old Cookie, she was eating walnuts as soon as she come out here. So I mean,
So you gave them a little bit of feed yesterday and it's access to
yesterday
water.
morning. So a good, at least 24 hours ago, I gave them about half a day's portion for both of them, just to kind of hold them over until today. Yeah.
I think this video, when I collage it all together, it's probably gonna be like 20 minutes long. 20, 30 minutes long. It's gonna be a huge one.
Hey, watching a 2-pig processing video in 20 minutes with maybe some good information seems alright to me.
My thumb's about numb.
pelvis, right? That was simple.
So why'd you do that?
Got to open that up so we can take all this and goes on down with the intestinal and
That's splitting his pelvic bone.
Okay.
You see it? Right there. Pelvic bone right there. Because the rectum's right on the other side of it, and that membrane right there is actually where his intestines and everything starts. Oh, so you kind of let the weight of the cape.
Yeah, and then it just peels better off this back.
Okay.
Than it would. So you got to how the bacon dips and curves, and you run into that lean part. Well, you got a lot of fat back here. The fat will turn loose easier.
Okay.
You get into that lean, and you try not to be pulling too much of your lean off. So that's just I had brought some right here. You have to kind of slow down because you'll cut into it and you'll end up with a lot of gashes and stuff.
On your bacons.
And yeah, you don't want to mess them up no more than you have to. That's the slow part about this.
Around your belly.
Yeah, got to kind of work around the contour.
She's got a beer belly.
She's got a corn belly or food belly of some kind.
Actually, believe it or not, we raised these on soy-free, non-GMO feed, the Nature's Crest. And like I said, they, on average, I probably gave them 7 to 8 pounds of feed a day. Yeah. Other than that, they were pasture raised, pasture and forest. So
Got a lot of acorns in them.
a lot of acorns.
The makers will do it, man.
It helps make the meat red, like kind of similar
I'm
to
amazed
deer.
how red it is.
Yeah, look at that. That's what I was looking at.
I mean, that's not them.
That
Little,
adds flavor.
that's not them little pink thin pork chops you see at the store. You know.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it froze.
Oh, it froze that quick?
The soap did.
But you said that was for waste.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless one of y'all want to pickle some feet.
Pickle them. Alright, just pulling it back.
Brown spotted stuff is.
That's just blood.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was actually getting into the hair
Oh, okay.
follicles in there
Yeah.
where they come into the skin.
Right.
But sometimes it gets a little bloody. You know, it bleeds out to that fat.
See that? I seen that. The guy that used the winch to just pull the carcass out.
Cutting out the jowl meat right now. Cutting along the jawbone.
It's a jowl bone.
Jowl bone.
What's the
Not to
proper?
be confused with a T-bone.
What's the proper term? Is it jaw meat, jowl meat?
Whatever you want to call it. It's the jaws. But
So what do you do with the jaw? You make bacon out of it? What
you can
else?
slice it up and make bacon or head cheese or just slice jaw meat or whatever you want to call
Salt it and do whatever you want with it.
it. Yeah. If it's yours, you can name it and claim it. Whatever.
So you've cut around the jowls, and now you're about to cut the head. So you're slicing the sternum right now?
Bust this breastbone up.
Look at the stain coming out.
It's warm. You doing it?
I stick my hands in there and warm them up.
Real gentle.
Yeah, that'd be.
Mark, he's about the only one I think that really eats organ meat.
I need a heart. Heck, I don't know.
You want the heart?
Yeah, I definitely want the heart.
We'll get you the heart, and I want the caul fat.
We may have to get it out after we get
Do you want the liver? Okay, we'll save the heart, liver,
We'll just
and
let it
caul
drop
fat.
down when we
Okay.
put all these.
We wash these, so we'll try to keep this one as our clean gut bucket.
What is that, Corey, that you're holding?
Caul fat, what you do is like if you make a meatloaf or something, you take this webbing looking stuff and you wrap it, or a roast, or really anything that you just want to surround in really, really delicate pork fat, and you bake it.
Wow, I've never heard of
Caul
that.
fat.
What?
Yeah, it's like just a fat layer that surrounds I don't know what organ.
It looked like the stomach. Was it?
Maybe.
That is cool.
Is that the liver right there?
Oh, no.
What you doing now? You cutting the...
But fix this splitter down the back.
Cutting the back side of the pelvis. So we already cut through the front to get the rectum and all the back end of the digestive system out.
We're splitting it in half.
Do you actually split the spine, or you just go down one side of it?
It varies how good you are at sawing it and how good the saw blade is and whatnot.
You're about to go all the way down it.
Right, correct. It's going to be 2 highs here in just a minute.
So let's not take a minute. So I'm...
We'll stop the video and start up. Oh, here we go. I'll do the fast motion.
I'm trying to keep everything out of your way.
You're good.
There's a workout right there, ain't it?
Try to stay this thing because you'll want to walk out with it.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to
Make you want to get
keep
out
it from swinging.
or so. Yeah, or a sawzall.
I got a couple chainsaws on the back of the truck.
Thing about using saws, unless you get one that's got a really fine blade, you'll throw bone dust all over everything.
You can see the bone fragment.
Use one with a metal cutting blade. That's a thick layer of fat on the back. Ain't
Yeah, that is.
Look at that. It's an inch thick.
There's actually two layers of fat. If you look, see that separation right there?
Yeah.
So that's like your hard cap fat, and then you can feel a big difference in density between two. Like the outer layer is pretty tough, and then the inner layer is kind of your soft, what you would really eat. No, pork you don't.
What fat do you get to render down to make lard? Is it that fat?
There's kind of different kinds of fat, because you got like some of there's on the inside here, like there's some different kind of like fats on the inside of the cavity that are a lot more tender but for the most part it's going to be just a lot of your outer fat.
Outer fat.
Yeah, like on some of the, it's pretty similar to that coal fat, you know? I don't think use it for like, use lard and some kind of baking because it doesn't have near the flavor that the outer fat do.
You know, chefs really like accustomed.
Okay, I'll set it aside for you. See if I can across the last, like on the basis there. No, yeah, I got one little piece.
It's called like a leaf fat. What you call it?
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it and pull it up before the big loose and then we can yank it on out.
Okay. The leaf fat.
Leaf fat.
Just cut it down low when you pull it up.
Yeah, just put, because that's going to be the inside part of your belly right there.
Yeah.
And that'll get it pulled loose, and all you got to do, you can put that in sausage.
So you're cutting out the nerve track.
Because we split the spine. Yeah.
You did, didn't you? Right down the middle.
Wash all this because it's got bone dust in there from when we sawed it.
So the spine tracks on both sides, you get it off. So we're washing the carcass off, getting the bone fragments off, and anything else that might be on it.
So now we'll just let it.
I got the carcasses on the table here. I'm gonna have to head. I can't stay to finish the rest of this, but these guys are gonna finish it out. But I'll say that when we first started out, we had a good prayer devotional, gave thanks for the animal, and the experience has been passed on for past generations. We got to experience something today that our great grandparents got to do. So it's very invaluable. Now we get to learn it and pass it down to our kids, hopefully.
We're gonna keep trying to make some film as we take our halves. This is one hog. We've actually got another one we're skinning out right now. We're gonna try to make some more video of them getting broke down into pieces and just that whole process. So
Okay, so now you're cutting the ribs off.
I'm just going to be spare ribs. I'm just going to be pork on there. Oh, that's fine. I'm coming.
Pork fine, you can't beat that.
No, that's one of the better parts, just like the T-bone. Not being firm, it's going to be hard to keep a good even layer of lean and all, because it just don't.
There's a table brought over here.
It wants to wobble with you. It's hard to keep you know, like a good even cut. You know, like on your sawmill. If your blade was wobbling, you know, you couldn't keep it straight.
So it's best if you've got a way to let it hang overnight.
Correct. You want it to get cool if you can. I mean, this is how people used to always do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can just do a better job.
It makes it prettier.
It does. It makes things where you can do more even cuts too.
You know how to cook pancakes? Pancakes. Oh, pancakes. Yeah, I can cook pancakes.
That's got a bone in it, so you can make some bacon here. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get this thing squared up as best we can.
Which one's the belly?
Right there, look at it.
I'm gonna lay that here right now.
The belly?
That's his shoulder right there, I think. Was that a bacon or was that the sausage right there?
You want bacon?
The handle on the hose.
Fine, just fine because
You can do it two ways. You can, if you're gonna use a knife,
Yeah, but not if it gets in
or
your
if you're gonna use a
face.
slicer. You still want to either put it in the freezer and let it firm up, not totally frozen. You'll never be able to slice it if it's not firmed up. Or you can go ahead and freeze it and let it thaw out a little bit in the refrigerator where you can slice it with a knife or whatever.
Unless it happens
But
to you.
other than that,
Gets in the face too, or just
trying to slice it right now is impossible. Yeah.
Now, do you cure it before you slice it?
You gonna cure it?
I've got salt and everything in the house, so we're gonna go ahead and whenever we get all the rest of the stuff
always your fault, no matter
wrapped up, we're gonna go ahead and put them in a couple of these lugs and
And
salt
when
them.
it's wiggling and all, like it's gonna be hard to square it up just like I normally would if it was cold
It's
and
getting
firm.
soft.
Yeah, it's already it's soft from the time we shot it.
Yeah.
You know? Good ham bone right here.
Okay.
Now, if you try to cut it in half, you're gonna get what I was gonna suggest. Like when we used to cure hams a lot, we would take this whole bone out. I could take it out right down to the knuckle. Because most of this is bone, spill it.
Okay, tell me what you're doing now.
Taking out the neck bone.
Okay, thaw it under refrigeration.
Thaw it under refrigeration.
Are you going
Uh,
to
And
cut that any smaller? You want that one like that?
if you're gonna redo it, refreeze it.
So I can take it.
You know. You can put it in the refrigerator like overnight or all day, and let it gradually thaw. And then you can bone it out or leave it as a roast and cook it or whatever. Just don't leave it out and get it at room temperature and real fast, or set it outside and thaw it out, unless you're gonna cook it right then.
I was just thinking like on these big roasts, that'd be more crock pot stuff you can do real easy.
And I can take this bone, this leg shank off.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We'll probably cure all the shanks. Turn them into bean shanks.
We can
Okay,
we
this
can
is the
strip this-
loin, correct?
Correct. We can strip this all out, and we can strip this little inside tender. That's gonna be really sweet.
That's your tenderloin, tenderloin.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What was this one, Cory? A center?
Center cut ham.
And-
That's like your Christmas ham.
And we can pull this out, and we can slice it for like a boneless pork chop, or we can. Anyway,
Is there any bone there to cut through? Or is
there's
it
bone.
just
That's what I'm saying. See, you got your whole backbone. That's what I'm saying. Most time people would always just make it boneless. We can leave it whole and have like 2 boneless roasts, or maybe make 3 small boneless roast loin.
Would you rather have loin, roast or pork chops? You want chops?
Okay, we can make it like boneless chops, so we can do like tenderloin. Because,
So, what's the difference in doing a boneless or bone-in?
well, the bone, you normally slice it on a saw. You see how it's wiggling and everything else when we're trying. It needs to be, and it does, as far as a bandsaw too, it needs to be chilled. Keep it firm enough that you can work it on and get your.
So this is where your pork chops come
Right
from.
here. This big wad that comes all the way
Okay.
down here. They said what a thirds on the loin rope. You just kind of follow the rib bones all the way down.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You know, you can Google up some ideas and stuff. What to do, how to do things. A little different. Right.
We're just trying to make as many roasts as we can so that we can just put it in the crock pot.
Yeah.
Make your life a little simpler. That, and, you know, when you leave it in big chunks, you can always diversify it a little bit. You know,
That's
you
what
can
I
cook
fixed
this
to
as
say.
a roast, or you can cut it in pork chops and grill them, or, you know,
Or
it's
you
like
could split it open and put you something in there with it.
roll it. Yeah.
Roll it up.
So do you call this a tenderloin?
Actually, that little small one is actually what you call tenderloin.
Yeah.
But,
It's that right here.
we call it tenderloin anyway because it's boneless and it's
Yeah.
just a little one and it's going to be tender most of the time. But that is your true tenderloin, is that little piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is day 2. We are making some sausage, grinding all this meat up. Not as cold as it was yesterday.
We're stuffing our sausage bags. We got our little 1 pound baggies here. Took our sausage from the grinder, did a second grind on it to get it mixed up better. Now we got it in the stuffer. And just give it a little turn. Keep a little pressure on the bag. Make sure the stuffer doesn't fall off the table. Right there. About
Easy peasy.
1 pound of fresh pork sausage.
Got some pork belly here, cured up. How long gonna cure it?
It'll be about what, a week, 7 days. It's kind of watching the moisture come out and feeling the firmness of the belly as it cures up. About a week.
Looks like it's gonna be tasty. That's a wrap. We'd like to give thanks to Cory and Anna for putting on this event and to the process for passing on his knowledge. What you're seeing here is friends, family, and a community coming together to put food on one family's table. That is a scarcity these days. This food has a connection. They tended to these pigs every day for like 8 months. The pigs got to be pigs, forage, roam around. You can't help not to get attached to these animals. Then the day came to fill its role it was created to do. That is, provide substance for us. Then to take part in the dispatch and processing of that animal, folks, that is full circle farm to table. You can't get any better than that. It's really awesome to be part of this modern homesteading and get back to your roots, producing healthy and nutritious food movement. If you'd like to see more, subscribe below, follow on Facebook, and check out our website to purchase food just like this. Thanks.